This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we will start with today's session. So we will continue what we were discussing in the last class. So before that, we will quickly see what we did in the last class. So in the last class, if you remember, we were discussing about inventory management. Yeah. So let us go back and have a recap of what we did. Okay, so we were discussing inventory masters. So under inventory masters, we have stock group, stock category, stock item, unit, and location or your godown. So we created each one of them. So first we created locations, we created different units, we created stock categories, we created the stock groups, and finally we created stock items. If you remember, we had created five stock items, and then after creating all the required inventory masters, we passed the purchase transaction. Okay, if you remember, this was the purchase transaction that we passed. So here, this is where we stopped in the last class. Okay, and after that, I guess I had given you two questions which you had to solve or which you had to pass in your software. I hope all of you have practiced that. Regarding the two practical exercise that I had given to you, any doubts regarding that while you were practicing it? Okay, fine. So today we will discuss two more topics which are there in this chapter, inventory management. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so these are the two transactions which I had given in the last class, which I had asked you to practice. So I hope everyone has completed that. So now let us discuss about two more transactions. Okay. Okay, so this is the fourth one. Okay, this is a pretty simple transaction which says the stock item that we had purchased. In this case, it is one plus nod. So when we purchased this one plus nod, we had allocated it in Jayanagar Godown. So my fourth transaction says that one plus nod is transferred from Jayanagar Godown to JP Nagar Godown. So what I have to do in this transaction is I have to take the stock item, which is one plus node, which is stored in Jayanagar, and I have to transfer it to JP Nagar Godown. So what am I doing here? I am transferring the stock item from one godown to another. Okay. So this is a inter godown transfer transaction. Okay, so we will see how to record these kind of transactions where I am moving my stock items from one location to another location. Okay, so now for that we have a special voucher. Okay, we have a different voucher in which we will be recording these kind of transactions. Okay, so now I'll go to vouchers. So here what I will do is in my voucher screen, I'll click on the other vouchers. You can see that you have other vouchers option here in the right hand side. the shortcut key is F10. Okay, so I'll select this option. This is going to give me, the list of all the other vouchers. So here in the last, you can see that under inventory vouchers, the last one, it says stock journal. Okay, Alt F7 is the shortcut key for activating this journal. So what I'll do is I'll select this particular voucher. So this voucher is used for these kind of transactions where I am transferring the stock items from one location to another location. So in that case, I'll be using this stock journal. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll first activate this, and this is how my stock journal voucher is going to look. Okay, so for those of you who are following me, did you arrive to this particular screen? Okay, fine. So here we have two columns. Okay, the first one is source and the second one is destination. Okay, in the name itself, you can make out that source means from where are you picking up your stock items, from which location, and the destination will be to where are you sending the stock items. So in our case, the source will be Jainagar Goda and the destination will be our JP Nagar Goda. So before that, if you want to check how many stock items is there in this particular godown, what is the status of my stock items. So for that, what you have to do is come to Gateway of Tally. From Gateway of Tally under reports, you can see that we have something here called as stock summary. Okay, so this is a report which is going to give me a summary of all the stock items that I'm maintaining in my company. So as you can see here, these are the groups. You remember, right? We had created 5 groups. So out of which we made 3 transactions. I mean, we had purchased 3 stock items which fall under 3 groups. So this is giving me the summary in terms of the stock group. But if I want the summary in terms of the stock item, then here on the right hand side, you can see that I have an option stock item wise. Okay, F5. So if I click on this is going to give me the summary of all the stock items that I have, how much quantity I have, at what rate I have purchased it, and you can see that you have all the status here. If you want a detailed view, like if you want to find out that okay, this particular stock item is stored in which godown, so if you want to know that, you can press Alt F1. Okay, Alt F1. If you're using a laptop, it will be Alt function key and F1. So now you can see that under each stock item, the godown in which it is stored is also being mentioned. Okay, you can see here the third stock item, OnePlus Nord. You can see below that it says Jainagar. That means this particular stock item is located or stored in Jainagar. So we have 5 numbers. So we will be transferring all these 5 numbers from Jainagar to JP Nagar Godown. Okay, so yeah, so did you get this screen? Were you able to look at this whatever I just did for the ones who are following? Fine. Okay, so now let us record this stock journal voucher. Okay, so still I'm in my stock journal. Okay, I will once again repeat how I activated this voucher. So from Gateway of Tally, I went to vouchers. So here in the right hand side, you can see that I have an option which says other vouchers, F10. Okay, I click on this, and here in the bottom, you can see that the last one, stock journal. So I'll be activating this. So I'll click on this, or you can even use the shortcut key which is mentioned here, Alt F7. Okay, so
Excuse me,
now,
sir.
yes,
I was not able to see the location. What is the shortcut key?
it was Alt F1.
It's not
Use
appearing,
Alt,
sir.
okay, use Alt function F1. Is it showing?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
fine.
sir.
Fine. So now This the first column is the source and the second column is destination. So in our example, the source will be Jainagar Godown and the destination will be JP Nagar Godown, and the stock item that we are transferring is 1 plus naught. So here in the first, the name of the item field, what I have to do, I have to press space bar. I will get the list of stock items that I have. As you can see here, it's mentioning 1 plus node, right? I have 5 numbers. So I will choose this. I'll press enter. Okay. And next it will ask me the location. So again, what I can do is I'll press space bar and now I have to choose my location. So in this case, the source will be Jainagar. Okay, source will be Jainagar. As you can see here, it mentions 5 numbers. That means in Jainagar go down, we have 5 stock item. So I'll select Jainagar. I have to mention the quantity. How many one plus node mobile phones am I transferring? So I have to mention the quantity of that. So in this case, I'm transferring all of them. So I'll mention 5. So rate, it will automatically capture the rate at what rate we had made the purchase transaction. At the same rate, it is going to be it's going to get captured here. Okay, and then we'll press enter and again enter. So it is going to bring me to the next field. Suppose if you are transferring multiple stock items, like in this example, I've taken only one stock item. If you are transferring multiple stock items, you can even mention the details of those stock items in the below given fields as well. Okay, so in my case, I don't have any other stock items. So what I'll do, I'll only transfer this one. So after that, you can press enter. So now you are in the destination column. So what you have to do in this destination column is just you have to copy or just you have to repeat whatever you just did in source. Only thing is in the place of location, here we will mention it as JP Nagar for destination. Okay, so JP Nagar will be our destination. So only we will change the location here. Other than that, everything, the procedure is same. So again, I'll press space bar. I will choose the stock item. Okay, now in the location, I'm going to choose JP Nagar. Okay, fine. And again, I have to mention the quantity, which is 5 numbers. The rate, it will capture it automatically. Okay, and then I will press enter. And below that, again, you have a narration field. It is optional. If you want, you can give a narration to it. And then again, I press enter to accept the screen. Okay, so this is how you pass a stock journal transaction wherein we are transferring the stock items from one location to another. Okay, any doubts regarding this transaction? Class, please react. Any doubts? Fine. So let us, check our stock summary once again. So I'll come to my stock summary. So now this is showing me in terms of my stock group. I want it in terms of stock item. So what I'll do, I'll press F5 or I'll click on the stock item wise. After that, you can see that it's listing down all the stock items that I have. Now, if I press Alt F1, you can see that under one plus node. If you remember the first time when I showed you, it was here Jayanagar. Okay. After we transferred it to JP Nagar, you can see that my stock item now is transferred from Jayanagar to JP Nagar. You can see here, right? 5 numbers. Okay, so this is your stock journal transaction. Okay, fine. So next we will record a sales transaction. Okay, so we did a purchase transaction. So similarly, we will be doing a sales transaction. So the sales transactions procedure is also similar to what you had done in your previous class, which is the purchase transaction. Only thing is we will be using a different voucher, okay, which is our sales voucher. So I will mention one transaction here. Okay, so So this is the uh, fifth transaction that we will be recording. So it says company sold Lenovo ThinkPad 5 numbers at the rate 43,000 per number and OnePlus Nord 5 numbers at the rate 22,000 per number to Sangeeta stores. Okay, so we will record this transaction. So what will be the journal entry for this? So the journal entry for this is Sangeeta stores account debit to sales account. Okay, so now I'll go to vouchers. Okay, so in this case, this is a sales transaction. So I will be using sales invoice, sorry, sales voucher. So I will select the sales voucher. After that, make sure that you are in item invoice mode because we are dealing with an item here. So make sure that you change the mode if you are not in item invoice. So press Ctrl H in order to change the mode. So we have three different modes: item invoice, accounting invoice, and ad voucher. So in this case, we will be dealing with item invoice. Okay. So the party name is Sangeeta Stores. So here I don't have Sangeeta stores. I've not created a ledger. So from here itself, I will create a ledger. Okay. Can anyone tell me under which group will Sangeeta stores come?
Sundry
Class.
debtors.
So it is sundry debtors. Good. So I'll choose sundry debtors. Okay. And then I'll press Control A in order to accept the screen. So we will have your dispatch details here. We will skip this. Party details also will skip. Then under your sales ledger field, you have to choose sales account. Okay. And now you have to mention the stock items that we are selling. So first it was Lenovo ThinkPad. So again, you are going to get the item allocation screen. So if you remember, we had allocated this particular stock item in Jainagar Godown. So obviously we will be able to sell it from Jainagar Godown itself. So here in the location, we have to mention Jainagar. As you can see here, it is showing 5 numbers. So we are selling how many? We are selling 5 laptops at the rate 44,000 per laptop. Okay. So the total amount will be 2,20,000 and then enter, and the second stock item will be OnePlus Nord. So now the location in this case will be JP Nagar because just now we have transferred the stock item from Nagar to JP Nagar. So now I'll press space bar. So here you can see in Nagar it's showing as 0, but in JP Nagar it's showing 5 numbers. It means that there are 5 mobile phones in JP Nagar. So in this case, my location will be JP Nagar, quantity will be 5, rate is 22,000 per mobile phone. The total amount is 1,10,000. Enter, enter, and then after that you'll get the bill of reference. So bill wise details. So here we have to choose new reference because this is the first transaction that we are having with Sangeeta stores. So in this case, it will be new reference. Okay. Here you can mention the name of your bill. Let me give it as a sale -10, and then your narration field, it's optional. After that, I'll accept the screen. Okay, so this is how you record a sales transaction. Any doubts?
So can you repeat it once again?
Okay, fine. So now I will be repeating the sales transaction once again. So the transaction here says a company sold Lenovo ThinkPad 5 numbers at the rate 43,000 per number, OnePlus Nord 5 numbers at the rate 22,000 per numbers to Sangeeta stores. So we have to record this particular transaction. Okay. So in order to record this transaction, we will be using sales voucher. So from gateway of Tally, I'll go to vouchers. Then I will select sales voucher. F8 is the shortcut key. Okay. After that, first I will make sure that my this thing mode is in item invoice. Okay, for that what I have to do is I have to press Ctrl H in order to change the mode. So I have to make sure it is in item invoice. Then here the first field is the party name. So here under party name we have to choose Sangeeta Stores. So if you have not created Sangeeta Stores, what you can do is you can navigate to the top where you have the create option. So click on this create, which will take you to the ledger creation screen. So here in the name you have to mention Sangeeta Stores, and this will come under sundry debtor. Okay, sundry debtor, because Sangeeta Stores is liable to pay the pending amount to the company. Okay, so in that case, Sangeeta Stores is our debtors. So we will choose sundry debtors in the group. I will press Ctrl A, which will accept it. Okay, and then you will have this Sangeeta Stores in your field name. Okay, party name. So after that, you can skip this dispatch details, press Control A, and again you can skip even the party details, Control A, and under sales ledger, choose sales account. Okay, so after that, you have to mention the stock items that we are selling. So for that, I'll press space bar and I will choose. So here I will take a Lenovo ThinkPad. I will enter. So here in the item allocation screen, I have to allocate like from where am I taking the stock item. So if you remember when we were recording a purchase transaction, we had allocated this Lenovo ThinkPad to Jainagar Godown. So in the location, we have to mention Jainagar. How much are we selling? That is 5 numbers. At what rate? So there it said 43,000. I just changed it into 44,000. It doesn't matter. So here I have mentioned at what rate am I selling it, and this is the total amount. Okay, fine. So after that, you will record the second stock item. Again you have to press space bar. You will choose one plus not. Okay, and in this case the location will be JP Nagar, not Jainagar, because uh, we just passed a stock journal transaction wherein we transferred the stock item which was there in Jainagar to JP Nagar. So this one plus node was transferred from Jainagar to JP Nagar. So in that case, location here will be JP Nagar, 5 quantity, rate is 22,000 per number, and then the total amount will be 1,10,000. So after that, you can press enter. You will get your bill of reference. Choose new reference. I mean, you need not have to choose, or Tally will automatically detect that it is a new reference. You just have to press enter, and in the name you can give any random number for this. Okay, so in this case I have given sale iPhone 10, and then you can accept the screen. Okay, uh, did you get it? Okay, fine. So after this, after recording this transaction, I will just accept it. We will go back to our day book. So if you remember, day book is the place where we can see all the transactions that we had recorded. Okay, this will give me the list of all the transactions which I have recorded. So let me go to this Sangeeta stores itself. Okay, so I'll press enter. So again it's going to take me back to that voucher, and from here I can generate a sales invoice. Okay, so in order to generate a sales invoice, so what I have to do is I have to press Ctrl P. Okay, so Ctrl P is a shortcut key to print. So now I'll press Ctrl P. Okay, this is going to give me the print screen. So here, instead of printing it now, I will first check the preview of it. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll come to this preview, I'll press enter, and this is the sales invoice that has been generated by the software. Okay, so in order to zoom this, there is a shortcut key. It is Alt Z. Okay, use Alt Z. So now you can see that this is the sales invoice which has been generated. Can you see the invoice? So you can see here we have the company details here, we have the customer details here, and below that we have the description of the goods. I mean the name of the good, at what rate are we, purchasing it, what is the total amount, amount in words, so everything. So you have a computer, this is a computer generated invoice. So you have all the informations that are there in a sales invoice. So this is how you can generate a sales invoice. So after checking the preview, if you want to take a print out of it, so what you can do is you have to press again alt is 1 minute. Okay, so press escape to come back, and you can just click on this print. So before that, you have to be connected, your system has to be connected to a printer. So if you want to take a printout of your sales invoice, so you can click on this print option. Any doubts regarding your sales invoice? Did everyone who are following me, did you get you the invoice? Do you want me to repeat the steps which I just did now? Okay, so yeah, I will show it to you once again. So after, yeah, I will repeat this. So after recording your sales transaction, okay, so what we will do, we will generate a sales invoice. Okay, we need to give an invoice to the customer, right? So what we will do, so in order to print that sale invoice, so what I can do is I'll go to daybook. Okay, so in daybook you will have all the transactions that you have recorded. So just now we have recorded a transaction. So you can see under voucher type it says sales. So we have used a sales voucher to record this transaction. So I will choose this particular one. Okay, as soon as I press enter, it is again going to take me back to the transaction which I just recorded. If you remember, we were recording a sales transaction, right? So this has been recorded. So if I want to take a printout of this, in the sense if I want to make a sales invoice, so what I will do is I will use a shortcut key. So the shortcut key is control P. Control P is the shortcut key to print. So control P. So here I will click on this preview. Okay, before I take a printout of it, I will first check the preview. Okay, I'll click on this preview, and this is how my sales invoice will look. So in order to zoom this, if you want to have a clear look of this, you can press alt Z. Alt Z will zoom this particular invoice. So I press alt Z, you can see that this invoice has been, you can see the invoice in a much clear format. So here you have all the information which you will have in a sales invoice, like the company details, the customer details, okay, and the description of the goods that we are selling, how many are, what is the quantity, at what rate are we selling it. So you have all the necessary details which a sales invoice has. So you can generate a sales invoice from the software itself. Okay, after you check the preview, you can just press escape and come back. And here, if you click on this print, if a printer is connected to your system or your laptop, the sales invoice will get printed. Okay, so yeah, this was how you can take a printout of your sales invoice. Any doubts? Fine. Okay. So after that, yeah. So now I just mentioned that you can take the printout of your sales invoice by using this Control P shortcut key. So similarly, in order to generate any other financial reports, okay, so for example, when we were discussing the phrases of accounts, so first we had understanding the transaction, then we had journalizing, after that we had trial balance, P&L account, balance sheet, and so on. So when you are maintaining your books of accounts manually, so first you'll pass the journal entries, then you will do the ledger posting, after that you'll prepare trial balance, and after that you will prepare your financial reports. But what did we do here? In our case, we were just recording the transactions. Okay, in the sense we were just journalizing them. Now let us check whether Tally has created all the required financial reports. So you can see here in Gateway of Tally, right now I'm in Gateway of Tally. So from Gateway of Tally, you can see under reports, I have balance sheet, P&L account, stock summary, then you have a ratio analysis. Okay, if you want to check the profit or loss of your company in terms of ratios, so you can even look at this report as well. So let us start with the balance sheet itself. Let us see how the software has generated a balance sheet. So as you can see here, this is the balance sheet. Okay, so all the transactions that we have recorded so far, it has created a balance sheet of that particular transactions. Okay. Yeah. Can see here. So this is in a vertical format. Okay, but if you want it in horizontal format, what you can do is again control H, change view. Okay, you can choose horizontal here. So you can see that my liabilities column and I have my assets column as well. Okay, if you want to have a detailed look of this balance sheet, you can press Alt F1. Okay, use Alt F1. If you're using a laptop, again I'll repeat, it is Alt function and F1. Okay, so you can see that it is now giving me, a detailed view of my balance sheet. So under current assets, what are all the different items that I have? So I have closing stock, sundry debtors, cash in hand, bank accounts. Then under capital account, I have capital account, which in the first transaction, if you remember, we had introduced capital, right? So we can see all the things here under current liabilities. I have sundry creditors, and here I have my profit and loss account, which says 40,000. So what do you mean by that? Am I under profit or loss? Can anyone tell me that if my P&L account, this profit and loss account balance, if it is in liabilities column, it means what? Are we running under a profit or are we running under a loss? I guess we had discussed this in the first session itself. Yes?
Profit, sir.
It is profit. Okay, and if this profit and loss account, if it was under assets column, it means that it is loss. Okay, yeah, so this is your balance sheet. So what you can do is you can again press Control P in order to take a print out of this particular balance sheet. So before I take a printout, let me just take a preview of it. Okay, so you can see the preview. Again, Alt Z will be the shortcut key to zoom in. So you can see that this is how my balance sheet will look. Okay, so yeah, any doubts regarding this class? Fine. So similarly, let us have a look at the P&L account. So under balance sheet itself, I have an option here which says profit and loss account. So I'll go there. So you can see that this is my profit and loss account. Okay, above that you have the trading account balance as well. Okay, so it is going to prepare the trading account and P&L account in the same report itself. Okay, so again, if you want it in a horizontal view, I'll press Control H, I'll make it into horizontal. So you can see here, this is my P&L account. And again, if you want it in a detailed view, you can press Alt F1. So this is the things that I have here. So you can see that on the top, whatever we have here, this all is relating to my trading account. Okay, so we have opening stock, we have purchase account and sales account here, and closing stock. So this is our trading account items that we have on the top. After that, we derived gross profit, which is 40,000 rupees. And after this gross profit was carry forwarded to your P&L account, and because we did not have any indirect expenses or indirect income, so in our transaction we did not deal with any of those transactions where I had indirect expenses or indirect income. So in that case, this particular field is empty. Okay, so that is why it is just taking the net profit here, and it is generated, it has generated the report here. Okay, so again, if you want to take a printout of it, Control P, you can check the preview here, and Alt Z to zoom, and this is how you can generate your profit and loss account as well. So any doubts regarding this? Do you want me to repeat any of the reports once again? Fine. So now, in order to check other reports like trial balance, so which are not displayed in my gateway of Tally, what I can do is below I have an option which says display more reports. Okay, so I'll go to this display more reports. Yeah, one more thing, stock summary. I guess we just discussed stock summary. Okay, so now you can even check the ratio analysis if you want to. You can see that you have your what do you say, transactions that we recorded in terms of ratios and also percentage. So you can see that my gross profit and net profit is 11.59. So my operating cost is 88 percentage, and this is the ratio analysis screen. You can have a look at this screen as well. Okay, after that I'll go to display more reports. So under display more reports, again I have plenty of reports which I can have a look at. So this is the trial balance, so we'll have a look at trial balance. So as you can see, again we have the trial balance also generated. Okay, so again Alt F1 for detailed view. So it is going to give me a proper view of my trial balance. Okay, is it fine? Any doubts so far? Okay, fine. And if you want, let us check accounts book as well. So here under accounts book, we have two important registers. Okay, one is the sales register and the second one is purchase registers. If you can have a look at this registers thing here, below that we have contra register, payment register, receipt. So all the accounting vouchers that we just discussed, I mean we used in order to record the transaction. So we have a registers for all those vouchers here. So now let me just check my sales register. So now you can check the what do you say, status of my sales transactions. So whatever sales transaction that I performed in this company, it is going to give me a report of that particular transaction. So you can see here in the month of April I have a transaction here. So if I just click on this, it is going to tell me the transactions which took place in the month of April. Okay, so we just had one transaction, Aryan Traders, if you remember. So I can go back to that voucher as well. And again under this April we have the transactions of May. Okay, so in the May, we had again one transaction, which was Sangeeta stores, which we just recorded today. So this was the say this is your sales register, which is going to give you a status of your sales transactions, okay, or your sales report. Okay, below that you can see that even there is a column chart which has been generated, okay, which you can use in order to analyze. So in the month of April, you can see that the bar is very small because it was only 20,000 rupees. But in the month of May, the total value was 3 lakh rupees. So it is uh, here, the bar, the column bar is, much more bigger than the April. So similarly, as you record your transactions in different time period, you will have all the details mentioned in this particular screen. Okay, so this was your sales register. Similarly, we have purchase register. Okay, so yeah, this is also the same thing. Just in this case, you will just have to look at the purchase related transactions. So again, you have the transaction in the month of April. We have transactions in the month of May, and this is exactly the same, but only difference is this is related to your purchase. Okay, so this was your purchase registers and sales registers. Okay, and how did I derive to that screen is, so this is gateway of tally. From gateway of tally, I went to display more reports. Under that, I went to account books. Okay, so I went to account books. So in my account books, I have all the registers here. So I can choose sales register or purchase register, whichever I want to see. I can choose between them. Okay. Yeah. So, any other doubts regarding the reports that we just had a look at? Any doubt regarding that? No doubt. The ones who were following me, were you able to see those reports? Were you stuck somewhere? If so, please let me know. Okay. Fine. Now we shall discuss another topic, which is purchase order and sales order. Okay. Till now we discussed about having a purchase transaction and a sales transaction. Now let us discuss about placing a purchase order or receiving a sales order. So for those kind of transactions, how we will record, we will have a look. Okay. So let me share the screen here. So yeah, this is order processing. So in this chapter, we will be learning about two types of order processing, which is purchase order processing and sales order processing. Okay, so you can read the definition here. It says purchase order processing. It is the process of placing order with suppliers for a purchase to be made from them. In the sense, if I am if I want to make a purchase from a supplier, so the company is placing a order to the supplier. So that is what we mean by purchase order processing. And next we have sale order processing. So it is the opposite of it, wherein the company is receiving an order, okay, from the customer. Okay, so this is your purchase order processing and your sale order processing. Fine. Shall I move on to the next slide? Do you want to make a note of this, or do you want to take a picture of this particular slide? Okay, so I'll be moving to the next slide. So the next one is, so we will start with the sale order processing. Okay, first we will discuss about the sale order, and then we will discuss about the purchase order. Okay, so under sale order there will be 5 transactions. Okay, five, no, it's 6 transactions. Okay, so we will have to record 6 transactions under sale order processing. So what are all those transactions? We will have a look at that. Okay, so here it says transaction 1. So transaction 1 says company received a sale order from Informatics Private Limited for computer P520 numbers at the rate 45,000 per number to be delivered on 1st of June 2023. The order number is IPL 01. Okay, so what can you understand in this transaction is on 1st of May, okay, the company is receiving an sale order. Okay, this is sale order processing, right? So the company is receiving a order from the customer. So the customer here is Informatics Private Limited. Okay, and what is the order? The order is that he wants to receive this stock item, computer P5, and is placing an order for 20 numbers. Okay, at the rate 45,000 per number. And he wants this particular stock item to be delivered on 1st of June. So the order is being placed on 1st of May, but the delivery has to be made on 1st of June. Okay, so did you understand the transaction? Do you want me to repeat? Were you guys able to follow what I just said? Okay, fine. So below that, you have the solution for this particular transaction. So the first one is a past journal entry. Okay, that will be the step one. And step two is creation of ledgers. So what are we going to create? What are the ledgers that we are supposed to create here? So one is sales. So we have already created a sales ledger, and we have to create the party. So the party here will be Informatics Private Limited. Okay. After that, we have to also create one stock item. So in this case, the stock item here will be computer P520 numbers. Okay. And this particular transaction must be recorded in a new voucher. Okay. We'll be discussing about a new voucher, which is sale order voucher. Okay, we have a different voucher in the name of sale order voucher. So we will be using that voucher in order to record this transaction. So these are the three steps that we have to follow. Okay, after that, okay, that is transaction 2. Okay, now first let us finish transaction 1. Okay, first let us record this particular transaction. So I'll go to Tally Prime. So first let me create the required ledgers. So in this case, it was the party. So first one is the party, which is Informatics Private Limited. Okay, so under which group? It is sundry debtors. Okay, so then I will accept the screen. After that, I have to create the stock item. So the stock item was computer P5. Okay, so I'll go to stock item. So I'll create computer P5. So here, if I want, I can give a group or a category. It is left to you. If you want to mention the group, again you can create a new group in the name of computer, and you can mention the group if you want to. Okay, and category, this will be electronic items. Again, this is also optional. Either you can mention the category, or you can leave it blank. Okay, so in this case, because I have electronic items already created, so I will just select this electronic items, and units will be numbers. Okay, there is no alternate units for this, so in this case it will be not applicable, and there is no opening balance, so I will just accept it. Okay, fine. Next, we have to record this transaction in sale order voucher. So what I will do is, from gateway of Tally, I'll go to
Excuse
vouchers.
me, sir.
So yes,
Can you repeat the item, stock item ledger?
it is computer P5. Okay, so from gateway of Tally, go to create. From gateway of Tally, go to create. Go to
Yes, sir.
stock item. Okay,
Yes,
one
sir.
minute, and this will be the stock item. So the name will be computer P5, and after
Yes, sir.
that you have to choose the group. Okay, so as of now
Yes.
I don't have a particular group for this stock item, so I will just give it as primary. Okay, it's
Yes.
optional. Either you can create a group, or you can just give it primary. And the
Yes,
category
sir.
also is optional. You can choose not applicable also. It doesn't matter. But in this case,
Yes, sir.
because I've already created a category in the name of electronic items, I'm choosing that one. And the
Yes, sir.
units will be numbers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And for alternate
Yes, sir.
units, we don't have any alternate units. So I'll choose not applicable and then I will accept it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so let us record this transaction. We will first go to vouchers. So here in the right hand side, I'll press F10, other vouchers. So what I will do is, I'll on the top you have an option which says show inactive. Okay, so what I will do is, I will click on this show inactive, and here uh, the last one you can see, right? Order voucher. We have job work in, job work out, purchase and sales. So we will be using the sales order voucher in this case. Okay, the shortcut key is Control F8. So I'll just press enter. So it will ask me, you need to activate the sales voucher type. So activate now. Yes, I want to activate it now. So I'll press enter. Okay, so this is my sales order. So make sure that the date is what was the date given here? It is 1st of May. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will repeat it once again. Okay, so now from gateway of tally, in order to record this transaction, okay, what transaction is it? We are receiving a sales order. Okay, so we need to record this sales order transaction. So what we will do is, from gateway of tally, we'll go to vouchers. Okay, in order to activate this sales order voucher, okay, we'll not be using sales voucher. Okay, don't get confused. We'll not be using this sales voucher because we are not selling anything at the moment. We are just receiving an order. Okay, so for that, what I will do is, I'll click on this F10 other vouchers. Okay, I'll click on this F10 other vouchers, and on top you have an option which says show inactive. Okay, some of the vouchers are not activated. In order to use them, we have to activate them. So the ones which are not activated will be here under show inactive. So I'll click on this show inactive, and this is going to give me all the ledgers, sorry, vouchers. So if you remember in the first class when we were discussing, I mentioned that we have 24 predefined vouchers. So out of these 24 predefined vouchers, we will be using sales order voucher here. Okay, because we are receiving the sales order, so we will be recording that in sales order. So below you can see that under order voucher, I have a voucher which says sales order. Control F8 is a shortcut key. So I press enter. So because I just activated it now, I did not get that message screen once again. So you will get a message screen where it will ask you, do you want to activate or not? So you just have to press enter in order to activate it. Okay, so did you understand, Pujita? Okay, fine. So yeah, so as you can see here, the sales order voucher, looks similar to the sales voucher as well. You can see that we have the party name here, we have a sales ledger here, we have the order number, we have a name of item. So we have all these things here. So we will see, we will use this voucher in order to record a class. 5 minutes, I will just be back. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, let us continue. Okay, so this is how I derived to the sales order voucher. Any doubts? Do you want me to repeat how I activated this voucher once again? Does anyone want me to repeat it? The ones who are following me, did you arrive to this particular voucher? Fine. So yeah, if you are not able to get this voucher, or if any of the things are missing, whatever you can see here, right? If anything is missing on your screen, just let me know. Okay. Fine. So now let us record this transaction. So the party in this case is Informatics Private Limited. So I'll choose Informatics Private Limited. So these are some order details like mode or term of payment, other reference, terms of delivery, and again the dispatch details, which are the same things what you were getting in your sales invoice. So you can as of now you can skip these things. Okay, and this is the party details. I press Control A again, and here I have to mention the order number. So in our transaction, the order number was IPL-01. So here I will mention it as IPL 01. Okay, so here in the order number field, I have to mention this order number as well. Okay, so do you get this order number field? Is it displaying for everyone? Because this is very important. If it's not, let me know. Fine. After that, under sales ledger, I have to choose sales account, and then I have to mention the stock item. So the stock item in this case is computer P5. Again, I'll press space bar. So you can see that I have computer P5. So yeah, here be careful. This is the again you have your item allocation screen. Okay, so we are recording the transaction on 1st of May. Okay, but this order has to, I mean, the order which is placed says that this particular stock item must be delivered on 1st of June. So I have to mention the due date as 1st of June here. Okay, after that location, I will choose any one location here. Let me take Dinagar. Let us just check, take Dinagar, no problem. Quantity is 5 numbers. So if you remember, here it says that, no, not 5 numbers, I'm sorry, it was 20 numbers. So the order is for 20 numbers, and it is 45,000 rupees per number. So here in the quantity, I'll mention 20 numbers. Okay, here it says negative stock because see, we don't have computer P5, but we are receiving a sales order. So because we are not given any opening balance for this stock item, it is mentioning in negative stock. It's fine, it's not an issue. I can press enter, and then here I'll mention the amount, which is 45,000 per number. Okay, so the total bill value will be 9 lakh rupees. Okay, enter, enter, and then again you have the narration. Okay, so here you can mention the narration as well if you want to, and then accept the screen. Okay, so this was how you can record your sales order transaction. Okay, any doubts regarding this? Do you want me to repeat what I just did right now? Okay, fine. So let us move on to the second transaction. Let us see what does the second transaction say here. So in transaction 2, it says on 2nd of June, company delivered computer P520 numbers to IPL private. IPL means Informatics Private Limited as per sale order number IPL 01. So what happened is in transaction 1, we received a order from the customer, which says that he wants computer P520 numbers to be delivered on 1st of June. So that was the order that we have received. Now on 2nd of June, what we are doing is we are fulfilling, or we are completing the order that we have received. So what I'm doing is I'm delivering the stock item to the customer. So in that case, again we have another voucher which is called as delivery note. Okay, so we will use this particular voucher in order to record the second transaction. Okay, delivery note. Fine. Did you understand the second transaction? Okay, so now let us go back to gateway of let us go back to Tally. Again, from gateway of Tally, I'll go to vouchers. Okay, and now I have to activate my delivery note voucher. So from F10 other vouchers, again what I will do is I'll go to show inactive. So here you can see here under inventory vouchers, I have a voucher which says delivery note. Can you see here? The shortcut key is Alt F8. Okay, so now we will record this transaction in delivery note. So I will click on this delivery note. I'll press enter. So you'll get a screen which says, do you want to activate it? I will say yes. So now I'm in my delivery note. What do you say? Voucher. Okay, so again be careful, the transaction is recorded on 2nd of June. So first we have to change the date. So in order to change the date, you can have a look on the right hand side. On the top you have an option which says date. Okay, F2 is the shortcut key. So I press F2 and here I will change the date into 2nd of June. Okay, so now I have to record the transaction. So again, the party in this case is Informatics Private Limited. And as soon as I do that, I will get the list of orders. So if you remember, we had a order, pending order, sales order, and the order number was IPL01. Okay, this is the order that we had received. So what I will do is I'll select this one, IPL01. Okay, and that's it, we don't have any other orders, so I'll press end of list. Okay, then you have your basic informations about the transportation here. You can skip all these things. Okay, and then you have your party details, and then a sales ledger, it will be sales account, and you can see here automatically it has, mentioned the stock item here. Okay, as per the order, whatever the quantity was and whatever the rate was, automatically it has filled it, because we had given the order number, right? So by tracking the order number, Tally has automatically updated the item. Okay, so we will record this. So now in this case, what will be the tracking number? So as you can see here, the tracking number for this one, again it is IPL01, because this is what we had given, right? So automatically it will take all your details here. You just have to press enter and then end of list. And then, oh, wait, 1 minute. Wait, 1 minute. I have made a mistake here. Okay. 1 second. I will record this transaction once again. So yeah, I will repeat it once again. Just make a note of it. Okay, so from gateway of Tally, I'll go to vouchers. So our second transaction says that we are delivering the stock items for which we had received a sales order. Okay, so we have a order. So which says that I have to deliver 20 computer P5 to Informatics Private Limited. Okay, so for that I will be using a special voucher which is called as delivery note. In order to deliver any stock item to the customer, we will use this particular voucher delivery note. So in order to activate this voucher, what I will do is I'll go to F10 other vouchers, and here I have to navigate to the top, and in the show inactive screen, what I have to do is under inventory vouchers, I will have this delivery note. Okay, under inventory vouchers, I have this delivery note. So I have to press enter. I have to select that and I have to press enter. And after that, you will get the delivery note voucher. So because I've already activated it, it did not pop up any message to me. But if you're activating it for the first time, you will get a pop-up which says, do you want to activate it now, or do you don't want, or do you you don't want to activate it? So you just have to say I want to activate it by pressing enter, and after that you will have this delivery note voucher. So here I just have to mention the fields which it is asking for. So under party name I will choose informatics private limited, and as soon as I do that, it is going to list out all the orders that were pending. So if you remember, we had a pending order. So the order number was IPL 01. So I will choose this, and end of list. I will skip all this dispatch details. I will skip the party details as well. And remember that we are delivering the stock items on 2nd of June. Okay, because the order says that the stock item has to be delivered on 2nd of June. So when I'm recording this transaction in delivery note, what I have to do is I have to change the date. So on the top, on the right hand side, on the top, you can see I have a option which says F2 date. So I'll press F2, or I can just click on that, and here I have to change the date into 2nd of June, that is 2.6. Okay, so now after that, as soon as I do that, in the sales ledger field, I'll select sales account, and as soon as I do that, I need not have to enter the computer or the stock item once again, because it is tracking the order number, and whatever was there in the order number, it has reapplied it here in this voucher as well. Okay, so till here, did you guys understand? Any doubts so far? Are you able to follow me? Any doubts so far? Please respond. Okay, fine. So after that, what I'll do is I'll just have to press enter. Okay, and here the tracking number will not be the same as your order number. Okay, tracking number is different, and your uh, this thing, what is that, order number is different. Okay, so while I was recording this previously, I had given both the tracking number as and order number as the same, so you shouldn't do that. So the tracking number will be 1. Okay, this will be my tracking number, and the order number is the order that we had received. You can see here, right, you have all the details which says the location, the due date, and the balance, which is 20 numbers. So make sure that your tracking number and order number are not the same. Okay, then after that I just have to press enter in order to accept it. Again, it's giving me a warning which says negative stock, in the sense, because I had not given any opening balance to this computer p5, this a particular warning is being shown. So you can just ignore that, you can press enter. Okay, and then end of list, because I don't have any other pending order with the party. So then I can just come down to the narration part, wherein I will fill the narration. After that, I will accept the screen. Okay. So did you guys understand? Did you understand how I passed this particular delivery note transaction? Any doubts regarding this transaction? Do you want me to repeat the procedures once again? No? Shall I move on? to the next transaction? Fine. So this was transaction 2. After that, we will see transaction 3. So transaction 3 says Informatics Private Limited returned computer P5 three numbers because of non-performance. Okay, so what is happening here is we have delivered the computers. So after that, what is happening here is the company, our customer, Informatics Private Limited, he is returning three numbers. He is returning three computers back because he says of non-performance. So if you remember, when we were recording a sales transaction and if there was a sales return, we used to usually record it in credit note voucher. Okay, we had two different vouchers, debit note and credit note. So we were recording our sales return transaction in credit note. So don't get confused here because it says that the customer has returned computer, but it does not mean that we will be recording it in credit note because we still have not generated a sales invoice. Okay, we have first we received an order, second we delivered the stock items, but we have not yet generated a sales invoice. Okay, after you generate a sales invoice and then if the company or the customer returns the stock items, then we will record it in credit note. But before generating your sales invoice, if the customer returns any goods or any stock items, then we will record those kind of transactions in rejection in voucher. Okay, so we have a separate voucher in the name of rejection in where we will record the transactions wherein the customer is returning certain stock items before generating the sales invoice. Are you getting my point? Did you all understand? Do you want me to repeat it once again? Class, please respond. Okay, fine. So now let us, understand the sale order processing from the beginning. So yeah, so first understand what transaction one says. So in the transaction one, on 1st of May, the company received a sale order from Informatics Private Limited. Okay, so what is happening here? The company, okay, is receiving a order. Okay, what is the order? The order says that it wants computer P5 20 numbers at the rate 45,000 per number to be delivered. Okay, who is placing this order? Informatics Private Limited is placing this order. When is he placing the order? He is placing this order on 1st of May. Okay, so if he is placing an order on 1st of May, that means he might have even mentioned the delivery date. That means on so and so date, I want the stock items to be delivered. So here it is mentioned to be delivered on 1st of June. Okay, so on 1st of June, this particular order has to be fulfilled. So this is what transaction 1 speaks about. So this is transaction 1. Any doubts regarding this transaction 1? Okay, fine. So after this, what will the company do? So the company will first receive the order and next it is going to fulfill whatever the order is. That means it is going to deliver. So in this case, the company has to deliver computer P520 numbers. So what will the company do? The company is going to deliver this. So that is what our transaction 2 speaks of. So in transaction 2, it says on 2nd June. Okay, so we were supposed to send the or deliver the stock items on 1st of June, but in this case what we are doing is we are delivering it on 2nd of June. So transaction 2 says on 2nd of June company delivered the stock items which were supposed to be delivered. So it is computer P520 numbers. Okay, to whom are we supposed to deliver it? To the customer. And who is the customer? The customer is Informatics Private Limited. Okay, that is what transaction 2 says here. So transaction 2 must be recorded in delivery note. Okay, we have a separate voucher in the name of delivery note in which we will be recording this second transaction. Okay, this is what transaction 2 says. So first we received an order, second we have delivered the stock items, and after that usually what will happen, after that you will generate a sales invoice. Okay, so if you can see here, nowhere in the transaction it is mentioned in cash. Okay, it, which means clearly this is not a cash transaction. Okay, clearly this is a credit transaction. So in order to uh, receive the pending amount of whatever the amount or whatever the bill says, what we have to do, first we have to send a sales invoice to the customer. Okay, what will you have in that sales invoice? You will have all the details of your stock items, how many stock items did you send him, at what rate did you send him. So you will have a sales invoice which you will send it to the customer. Customer will look at the sales invoice and he will clear that bill, in the sense he is going to pay you back the amount. So that is what will happen. But before you generate a sales invoice, okay, before you generate a sales invoice, what is happening in transaction 3 is the customer, who is Informatics Private Limited, he has returned certain goods. Okay, he has returned some stock items. So in this case he has returned computer P5 3 numbers. Okay, we have delivered 20 numbers to him, out of which he is returning 3 numbers. Okay, because of non performance. Okay, whatever the reason might be, he is returning 3 numbers back. So what I have to do now is, usually if you remember, when we were recording a sales transaction, after recording a sales transaction, when we were supposed to record a sales return, what we used to do, we used to record that sales return in credit note. Okay, so we will record a sales return transaction in credit note only if we have generated a sales invoice for it. Okay, but in this case, as soon as a transaction 2, as soon as we have delivered the computers, we have not yet generated the sales invoice. Okay, so before generating the sales invoice, if the customer returns any stock items, in such case we will record the transaction in rejection in voucher. Okay, we have a separate voucher in the name of rejection in. So we will use this voucher in order to record the transaction. Okay, so now did you understand what exactly this transaction 3 speaks of? Okay, now let us look at all the other transaction. Let us understand the flow of this. After that, the transaction 4, which is on 2nd of June, says company sent a sale invoice to Informatics Private Limited. So this is when we are generating the sales invoice. So after we received the stock items which the customer had returned, so now what I will do is I will generate a sales invoice. Okay, after generating the sales invoice, I will send this sales invoice to my customer, and customer, what he has to do is he has to full clear that bill, clear the sales invoice. Okay, but after this transaction 4, we have another transaction which says on 2nd of July, you can see here, right, 2723, 2nd of July. What does this transaction say here? Informatics Private Limited returned computer P2 numbers after receiving the sales invoice. So first, what did this customer do? He returned 3 numbers. Okay, he returned 3 stock items. After that, again he is returning 2 more. Okay, for some or the other reason, he is returning back 2 more computers. So now we will record this particular transaction in credit note. Okay, not in rejection in. Why? Because about this transaction 4, what we are doing is we have already generated a sales invoice. Okay, after you generate a sales invoice, and after generating the sales invoice, if the customer returns any stock items, in that case you will record those transaction in credit note. Okay, so are you able to differentiate between rejection in and credit note? Do you want me to repeat this once again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So till here, did you understand? Till transaction 3, did you understand? Are you able to get the flow of this? Okay. After this, so after transaction 3, after receiving the stock items which the customer had returned, what is happening here in transaction 4 is on 2nd of June. So we have generated a sales invoice. Okay, try to understand the flow of the uh, process here. So first we received a order. Okay, first we received a sales order. After that we are delivering the stock items because we had an order, right? So we are delivering the stock items to the customers. After that the customer is returning back some stock items. Okay, yes, is returning some stock items. So we received the stock items back, and after that what we are doing is we are generating a sales invoice. Okay, because all the transactions here is a credit transaction. So for that what we are doing is we are generating a sales invoice. Okay, wherein the customer has to pay us the amount. So after generating the sales invoice, I will send this sales invoice to my customer. So customer has to clear this bill. So before he clears the bill, what the customer is doing here is in transaction 5, which is on 2nd of July, the customer Informatics Private Limited, he once again returned two numbers. He returned two stock items. So in transaction 3 is returning three numbers, and in transaction 5 again is returning two numbers for some or the other reason. Okay, but when in transaction 3 when he is returning it, what is happening here is the company has still not generated a sales invoice. So before generating the sales invoice, this customer has returned the stock items. So in such case where there is a return of certain stock items before the generation of your sales invoice, in such cases we will record those transactions in a voucher called as rejection in. Okay, so that is where we will record the transaction. After that, you can see in transaction 4 we have generated the sales invoice, we have sent it to the customer also. But still, even after that, what the customer is doing is returning back some stock items. So now in this case, when he is returning the stock items after we send him the sales invoice, in such case we cannot record the return, whatever is returning the stock items, right? We cannot record that in rejection in, we will record that in credit note. Okay, because we have already generated a sales invoice. After generating the sales invoice, if the customer is returning some stocks, so that will be sales return, right? So sales return will be recorded in credit note. Okay, now did you understand the flow of the order progress here? Okay, so when we are recording these transactions practically, right? So then you will be then you will be able to understand it much better. Okay, after this transaction 5 we have transaction 6, which says company received the amount on the pending bill. So whatever the pending bill we had, the company will receive the pending amount from the customer. So these are the 6 transactions which we have to record. In this class, we finished transaction 2. So from next class, which is on Saturday, I guess, because tomorrow is a holiday, I believe. So in the next class, we will be recording the transactions from here, transaction 3. Okay. Before that, practice this transaction 1 and transaction 2. Okay, you can take a note of this. If you want to, you can take a picture of this particular slide and please practice this. Okay, Fine. So now, where did all of you take a picture of this slide? Can I move to the next slide? Okay. Yeah. Take a picture of this slide as well. Only record the second transaction. The third transaction we will be discussing it in the next class. Okay, fine. So yeah, with this, we will be winding up the session today. Okay, so for those of you who have any doubts regarding this, can stay back. But those of you who don't have any doubts, can leave the meeting. Thank you, class.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, he had asked me to uninstall and install the software again, no? So I did it. Now I'm getting the date in the right format.
Okay, now you're getting it.
Yes, sir, I'm getting it. I could record all the transactions of today's class too.
Okay, very good.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. So those of you who have doubts, stay back. I will start. I will discuss. We'll discuss all your doubts.
Excuse me,
Okay,
sir.
so yeah, yeah.
So the previous sum where you were showing the reports like the balance sheet and the profit and loss and stuff, my
Uh-huh.
balances were different to yours.
Okay, maybe because while you were recording the transaction, you might have used different values.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so the in whatever values that you might have given, no, according to that, your
Yes.
balance sheet would have been generated.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Any other doubts? I have a doubt here in the chat box. Someone is saying in transaction one in item allocation screen, it is not letting me to fill quantity and rate, but I could fill only location and amount. Okay, fine. So so Asra Parveen, right? Okay, so this transaction is what you're speaking of, Asra. Okay, so yeah, let me just show you this transaction once again. Okay, so this transaction we will record it in sales order voucher, not in sales voucher, but we have a separate voucher in the name of sales order. So for that, what I'll do is from gateway of tally, I'll go to vouchers, I'll go to F10 other vouchers, I'll navigate to the top, which says show inactive, then I will choose delivery note, sorry, not delivery note, I'm sorry, it is sales order. Okay, I will choose sales order, control F8 is the shortcut key for this voucher. I'll select this. So this is how my sales order voucher can see, this is how my sales order voucher will look. Okay, so here on the top left you can see, right, it is written sales order. Okay, which means that this particular voucher is in sales order voucher mode. Okay, So now what we have to do is we have to record the first transaction. So first transaction, because I've already recorded it, I'm not going to re-record that, but I will show you the ones which I've recorded. Okay. So yeah, here you have to mention the party name. So the party name will be Informatics Private Limited. That is the customer name. So wait 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So that will be the party name. So then you have order details and dispatch details. I will skip all this as of now. Okay, this is the party details. Again, I'll skip this. And here you have to mention the order number. So you can see here, right? In the transaction, they have given the order number. The order number is IPL01. So I will mention that order number here. I'll press enter. Uh, It is asking me for the sales ledger. So I will take sales account. Okay, and in the name of item, I have to choose computer P5. So here, first you have to mention the due date. That means when are we supposed to deliver this particular stock item. So the due date, if you remember, it was it was 1st of July. So here I'll mention 1.6. So the location, you can take any location. Okay, and quantity, 20 numbers, rate and amount. So you are saying you are not able to get this particular screen. Okay, so in that case, if you're not getting this options in the screen, what you have to do is you have to press escape. Okay, from here, press F12. Okay, first you have to come out of your item allocation screen, press F12. Okay, after you press F12, make sure this show more configuration is as yes, and show all configuration is also as yes, and make sure that some of the options here must be enabled. If some of the options here are not enabled, then you will not get the required items. So now let me just check. Okay, so now what you have to do is take a picture of this particular screen which I am displaying here. Okay, take a picture of this and just check with your configurations. Okay, make sure that all the options that are here is the same as your configuration screen. If it is not, make the changes and then you can check your item allocation screen once again. Is it fine? Asra Parvin, is it fine? Okay, I'm not getting any response. Fine. Okay. Any other doubts? There are still six participants here. Any other doubts? Okay, class. Okay, class. So with this, I shall be ending the meeting now. So yeah, we will discuss all the other topics in the next class. Okay. Thank you, everyone.